So welcome to video 3 in the series on collaborative practice. I'm really lucky to have met this lovely woman, Beryl, from Auckland, New Zealand, who is going to talk to us a little bit about her experiences in relation to collaboration. So Beryl, you've got lots of experience in the whole area of learning and development and excellence. And Beryl loves systems and measures and things like that, I know for sure. So what do you find is really important in terms of knowing how you're making progress in any kind of collaborative practice?
I think it comes down to that old cliche of starting with the end in mind. I think you need to be really clear on the outcomes that you want to get from any initiative. So often people sort of have a good idea and they just pursue that, but they haven't stopped to think about what success would look like. And then, by the time you get there or not, you have got nothing to measure because the time has passed. So I guess my biggest piece of advice to people would be really clear on the outcomes that you want to have, and then work out what objectives will get you to those outcomes along the way. And then, if you've done that in advance, you can track and monitor your progress.
Yeah, I'd agree that's really important. And I know I'm going to put up some information on theory of change and logic models, which make you go through that process right from the start. Because your planning and your measurement should be very much in sync, isn't that right? They just line up really well and are really important. What have you found to be pitfalls that people fall into in terms of that?
Usually it's down to lack of planning and not being clear on the level of objective that they're trying to measure. I follow the Phillips ROI methodology, which actually has you collecting measures at 5 levels.
Right.
So the 5th level being return on investment. So that's the ultimate level. You can't always get there, but you should always try and get to level 4 in an important initiative, and that's the impact. So what impact has your initiative had?
Yeah.
And of course, with collaboration, when we're talking about outcomes, you've definitely got to be thinking in terms of, so what's going to be the impact? If this initiative is successful, what is the impact, and how will we measure whether or not it's been successful? So once again, I guess I'm sort of saying in a different way what I said before, but I can't stress enough the value in planning up front, because if you plan up front, you've got a much greater chance of being successful in what you're trying to do, and you will be able to track and monitor and measure your progress all along the way.
Absolutely, and as you mentioned, there are tools there that really help in doing that, and I'll put up some links to those after this. And I suppose one of the other things, just in terms of that's really important at an individual level in terms of planning and measurement and evaluation, but if you're entering into something in a collaborative way with a group of other people, it's really important that you agree what the measures are at the start, because I don't know about you, Beryl, but I've been involved in so many evaluations and initiatives where people aren't content at the end because the outcome that they thought was going to happen wasn't the one that happened.
Yes, it's well worth taking that extra time to work with people so that you're all clear on what the objectives are going to be. And you must have agreement before you commence, otherwise you will have problems down track.
Yeah.
And if you all start measuring different things, it's almost worse than not measuring at all, to be honest, because it just becomes really, really murky and confused. I have a great business alignment model I'll share with you that you can show to people as well, because it helps you think about, doing the analysis, like why are we even doing what we're setting out to do? Like, should we be doing it this way? And then if we're doing it, what are the objectives? And then how are we going to measure it? And it's at all 5 levels. It's a very useful tool.
Brilliant. That's really helpful, and that's why being here has been so exciting and fabulous, is to draw on those kind of information fonts of knowledge that people like Beryl have. The other thing I'd just say that the first video I mentioned, the whole idea behind iLab and the different energies kind of that are there in the profiles and in the whole system around Genius U and the different types of geniuses. And again, sometimes when people hear the term measurement, people want to dive into the action. And some people are comfortable with planning, some really want to get going with the initiative. But when they start hearing about measurement and having to tick boxes, they lose heart sometimes. But I think what we've learned here over the last couple of weeks is that as long as we can keep the original purpose and value and mission they're words that I think we overuse a lot. We kind of say, oh, we have to get our vision statement, our values, or whatever. But if everybody as a group is really, really tied into that vision and it's really, really clear, then you can connect it the whole way through to your objectives, to your outcomes, to your measures. And it makes more sense then to do what you need to do to be able to show and demonstrate the impact that the collaboration has had. Because we know, and research tells us, that working collaboratively, if done well, will yield really good results, better than others. But if it's not done well, it can work the other way. So I think that's really important. Yeah.
I'd just like to say, I think it's incredibly powerful and very satisfying when you are able to measure the success of what you've done. And people even become addicted to it, people who didn't want to measure in the first place, because it's such a buzz when you found out you've made a difference.
Yeah.
And face it, we all want to make a difference.
Absolutely. And I think on that note, we shall leave it. Thanks very much, Beryl.
A pleasure.
Yeah, good. Thanks, everybody. And we'll follow this with some information and links. Okay, bye.